here. I'd like to thank Golan very much for being so willing to host this event. E-commerce is a very important topic in Brazil right now, partly because it's growing so fast, and also given the current situation in Brazil, it has even more significance. So thank you once again. I'm going to introduce Gaston, and then he, as our moderator, is going to take over. So Gaston Terrones Dimant leads Golan's corporate practice in New York, providing expertise across various industries. Before joining Golan, he led transactional crisis and corporate reputation programs at Edelman. And before Edelman, he worked for Burson Marsteller. So he's been with all those big players. Public relations graduate from the Universidad Argentina de la Empresa, trading certificate from Buenos Aires Stock Exchange, and a pre-MBA from IAE Business School. So Gaston?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I hand over to you.
I was laughing. I was thinking, like, I really did a certificate in trading from the Buenos Aires Stock Exchange. It sounds like weird today, but that's where it is. We changed, so maybe there's news. So anyways, thank you all for joining us today. It's very exciting to be hosting this topic, and we always have a lot of conversations with James and the team at the Chamber of the need to really talk and have more spaces to talk about the Brazilian consumer and the Brazilian consumer market, right? And try to better understand. So I'm very thrilled to be joined with this amazing panelists that are gonna make us smarter about e-commerce in Brazil and all the opportunities that are ahead. There's a lot of statistics, so I don't want to talk a lot, but I mean, very straightforward. It was the total sales was expected to be $37 billion in 2015, but as big as that figure might seem, I think the most interesting part is the opportunity for growth and the exponential growth and the opportunities ahead across sectors and stuff. So I'm very much looking forward to learning with our panelists. Joining us today are Marcio COTS from COTS Abogados. Marcio is a lawyer who specializes and advises on e-commerce startups and IT companies, and he's also a foreign associate of Cyber Law Studio, that is a New York and California-based law firm. Yes. So very much looking forward to learning all the legal intricacies and taxation issues as it comes to trading goods in and out of Brazil. Also, my colleague Flavia Vigio from Golan, who leads our Latin America operations, and spent a long time before Golan with Arcos Dorados, that is McDonald's most successful and largest franchise outside of the US, and they operate all McDonald's restaurants across Latin America, all down from Mexico to Argentina. She was head of communications there. And also by Leonardo Ferreira, who is managing director of Accenture Interactive. And congratulations, you recently sold your own agency firm, AD Dialetto, to Accenture, and now you're part of the Accenture family. So it's also very interesting to see a big player such as Accenture moving into the space and bringing you on board. So very much looking forward to learning what the plans are. So with that said, everyone, thank you so much for being here today. Welcome on behalf of Golan and the Interpublic group of companies. And the three of them are going to walk us through brief presentations on different aspects, and then we're going to open it up to Q&A. Ladies first.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure. I gotta say that I'm sorry if I make any mistake in mispronunciation, okay? Because my name is Marcio. I'm a Brazilian lawyer. I don't live here. I've been here for a couple of meetings, and
the chamber asked me to give a short presentation about the Brazilian e-commerce market, and it's a pleasure being here. So we're going to go through some slides here, and then, as you said, if you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer those questions. Would it be better if I stand, or it doesn't matter?
Well, then maybe so people can see.
Yeah. Just a little bit about me. I'm specialized in cyber law. I'm one of the partners of COTS Advogados. It's a law firm specialized in digital economy based in São Paulo, Brazil. We work close with New York law firm, Cyber Law Studios, and that's it. I used to be the general counsel of a Brazilian IT company for more than 10 years, and that's why I specialize in this whole thing called digital economy. Talking a little bit about Brazil, just some data here about Brazil. You guys gotta understand that our population is of 205 million inhabitants, so nowadays we are the 6th largest economy in the world. Okay, we're not doing that well economically speaking, but we are still one of the biggest economy in the world. And we're going to see today that e-commerce is one of the good things about the Brazilian economy nowadays. 38.8 million smartphone users in Brazil. That makes Brazil the 6th highest worldwide. And 105 million internet users. So half of the population has access to internet nowadays. Okay? And what are the Brazilians doing online? Just to give you some piece of information here. So 89 million Facebook users in Brazil. So if we are talking about 105 million internet users, that means that 89 of those users 89 million are Facebook users. The 64% of internet users use Twitter. We are a country with the second most Google users and country with the second most YouTube users. A lot of people ask me, how come Brazil is the second if China is bigger than Brazil? The thing is that China, they have their own things. Right? So they have their own Google, their own YouTube. So that's why Brazil is the second. What are the key opportunities within e-commerce in Brazil? Well, in 2014, the B2C e-commerce sales in Brazil was of $17.8 billion, and the projections for 2019 is that we are going to sell $40.8 billion. So that means that Brazil, as Gaston said, is really growing. The Brazilian e-commerce is really growing in Brazil for different reasons that we are going to discuss here during this morning. Okay? Because it's growing the numbers of internet users, because e-commerce is growing everywhere. Basically, because the market is pretty much more mature. And some other reasons that we can discuss during our talking today. Number of online buyers expected to increase. So now, actually in 2014, there were 33.5 million users, and in 2019, we are expected to have 61.8 million of buyers in Brazil. Here are some numbers regarding sales. Christmas, 1.48 billion in 2014. I know that last year was the best Christmas regarding selling on the internet. Okay. Mother's Day, $378 million. Black Friday, yes, we do have Black Friday in Brazil. $291 million. Brazil leads the Latin American e-commerce market, which is the second fastest growing market in the world. Okay, so some people ask me, what about Mexico? What about Chile? So I gotta tell you guys that Brazil actually is really bigger than those countries regarding e-commerce. Internet retailer ranked the top 500 web merchants in Latin America, and out of 500, 299 were based in Brazil. Okay, so big players are in Brazil. Walmart has an online operation in Brazil. Groupe Casino, which is the French Walmart, they are in Brazil. They have a huge operation. They are one of our clients. They are called Sinova in Brazil. Who else? Carrefour, which is another French company. So just to give you some names here. The most popular countries where Brazilians shop online. Brazilians shop online from the United States and from China. China, because some Brazilians are looking for the price, lower price, right? In the United States, it's because Brazil has a lack of sophisticated products. So when Brazilians want to buy sophisticated products, they might go online and they're going to look for those products because sometimes it's quite hard to find those products down there in Brazil. This is interesting. Amazon doesn't have a physical operation down there in Brazil. Amazon started selling to Brazil online. And in Latin America was the growest market in Amazon compared to any other. So that means that we were 3.7 times faster than Amazon in China, 7 times faster than Amazon in North America, and 8.3 times faster than Amazon in Europe. So it's really a growing market and a really interesting market when it comes to selling products in Brazil or even outside of Brazil. Some foreign companies selling direct to Brazil. How do they do that? Most of the projects, at least the ones that our law firm is being worked on, they go basically the same way. So some American company wants to start selling to Brazil. Sometimes they just invest a little bit of money in marketing and they start shipping the goods to Brazil. That's basically what they start doing. Sometimes they just translate the web page into Portuguese so they can reach some Brazilians that might don't understand a little bit of English. And sometimes they start selling through international marketplaces, which is a really good idea. We already have some clients that decided not to sell through marketplaces because now they already have their own operations selling to Brazil. Okay? That's what Amazon did when they started selling to Brazil. Okay? So the reason why I'm here, basically, as I said, I don't live here, is because I'm talking with a lot of American companies that are willing to start selling to Brazil. So Costco, they don't sell to Brazil. H&M don't sell to Brazil. Target doesn't sell to Brazil. So that's why I'm here, so we can understand a little bit better the legal aspect of start selling to Brazil from outside of Brazil without having a physical operation in Brazil. Okay? So that's it.